This haunted doll is ruining my life. If I knew what that doll would bring into my life, I never would have touched it. But once you find something like that, there's no going back. Hi, welcome back to Beyond the Screen, where we dive into chilling stories you won't forget. Today, I want to share something that still keeps me awake at night. It started with an innocent find, and ended with everything falling apart. Let's start from the beginning. A few months ago, I moved into a small rental house in the countryside. It was nothing fancy but perfect for some quiet time. The house had this old, rustic charm, and in the attic, I found a cardboard box stuffed with random items. Among them was this small doll. It wasn't like any doll I'd ever seen before. It looked handmade, with button eyes and stitched features. At first, I didn't think much of it. I placed it on a shelf in my living room and went about unpacking. But within days, strange things started happening. It was little stuff at first. Doors that wouldn't stay closed. Lights flickering even though I'd replaced the bulbs. And then, my phone started glitching. Apps opening and closing on their own. I should have known then to throw that thing away. But I didn't. One night, I woke up to this banging sound coming from the living room. My heart was racing, but I forced myself to get up and check. I found the doll on the floor, even though I was sure I'd left it on the shelf. Maybe it fell, I thought, but there was no way it could have just moved by itself. The next morning, my dog refused to go near the living room. He stood frozen in the hallway, staring at the doll and growling. I felt this chill run down my spine. That's when I decided to get rid of it. I tossed the doll into the trash and left for work. But when I came back home, it was there, sitting on the shelf. That's when everything went downhill. I started having nightmares, vivid ones where the doll was watching me, whispering things I couldn't understand. Objects around the house began disappearing. My car keys, my wallet, even my shoes. I'd find them in the strangest places, like under my bed or in the freezer. My friends stopped visiting because they said the house gave them weird vibes. One even swore he saw the doll move out of the corner of his eye. I laughed it off, but deep down, I was terrified. Then, one night, I heard whispers, actual whispers, coming from the living room. I froze. It felt like hours before I mustered up the courage to go check. But when I got there, the doll was gone. I couldn't take it anymore. I tried burning the doll, but it wouldn't catch fire. I buried it in the woods, but somehow it ended up back in my living room. I even called a priest, but he just told me to leave the house entirely. And then the worst thing happened. I woke up one morning to find scratches all over my arms and legs, like tiny claw marks. The doll was sitting on my chest, staring at me with those button eyes. I moved out that same day. I left the doll behind, but part of me is sure it's still out there, waiting for its next victim. So, if you ever find an old doll that doesn't feel right, don't bring it home. Trust me, you don't want to know what happens next. If you enjoyed this story and want more chilling tales, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Beyond the Screen, and hit that notification bell. Who knows what we'll uncover next?